Siap, Pastor.
Katanya Pak, siapa yang, mohon maaf, yang agak gemuk itu siapa Pak?
Pak Tomo.
Nah, Pak Tomo sudah berpulang ya?
Iya, betul, Pastor.
Oh, saya
2 bulan yang lalu.
Iya.
Perbanas Institute didirikan pada tahun 1969 oleh Yayasan Pendidikan Perbanas atau YPP. Perbanas Institute adalah salah satu lembaga pendidikan tinggi pertama yang menyelenggarakan pendidikan di bidang keuangan perbankan dan informatika.
Selamat datang di Perbanas Institute. Fokus kami adalah pendidikan perbankan, keuangan, dan informatika dengan kurikulum yang inovatif, dinamis, serta mengintegrasikan pengetahuan teori dan praktek melalui proses pembelajaran yang menyenangkan.
Kampus Perbanas Institute berlokasi strategis di segitiga emas bisnis Ibu Kota Jakarta yang didukung kemudahan akses dan beragam layanan transportasi publik. Terdiri dari bangunan 6 unit yang dilengkapi dengan berbagai sarana fasilitas dan sarana pendidikan yang lengkap dan memadai sebagai kampus modern. Selain kampus utama, Perbanas Institute pun memiliki kampus di Bekasi yang menjadi pelebaran sayap dalam menampung minat para calon mahasiswa di bidang keuangan perbankan dan informatika yang terus bertambah dari tahun ke tahunnya.
Kuliah di Perbanas Institute merupakan sebuah pengalaman yang menyenangkan bagi saya. Kurikulum yang seimbang antara hard skill dan soft skill didesain untuk menciptakan calon pemimpin yang berkualitas. Saya bertemu dengan para dosen yang sangat kompeten, baik akademisi maupun praktisi. Materi yang disampaikannya pun sangat up to date dengan perkembangan bisnis dan dunia kerja. Fasilitas kampus yang lengkap dan modern sangat membantu mahasiswanya untuk berinteraksi, bersosialisasi, dan membangun kehidupan kampus yang menyenangkan bagi para mahasiswanya.
Kesuksesan mahasiswa Perbanas Institute selalu menjadi prioritas kami. Terlihat pada data profil alumni berdasarkan masa tunggu kerja dan profil alumni berdasarkan jenis pekerjaan. Saat ini, Perbanas Institute memiliki 3 fakultas yang terdiri dari Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis, Fakultas Teknologi Informasi, dan Sekolah Pasca Sarjana. Kami sangat berkompeten dalam membentuk dan mengembangkan sumber daya manusia yang profesional, handal, dan bermartabat di bidang manajemen bisnis, keuangan, serta perbankan di sektor swasta maupun di sektor publik.
Kemampuan dari Perbanas Institute dalam mengembangkan sumber daya manusia yang dibutuhkan oleh industri keuangan dan perbankan tentunya sudah tidak diragukan lagi.
Saat ini, program studi yang ada di Fakultas Teknologi Informasi memberikan kesempatan untuk melakukan pengembangan pengetahuan yang lebih dalam mengenai teknologi. Dengan peluang karir sebagai Network Specialist, Web Developer, Business and System Analyst, dan Information System Specialist.
Dengan kurikulum yang mengadopsi konsep link and match dengan kebutuhan industri, sehingga dapat menghasilkan sumber daya manusia yang profesional dan handal. Hal ini tentunya akan membantu mengeskalasi jenjang karir dan jejaring kerja yang saya miliki.
Perbanas Institute juga pernah mendapatkan penghargaan, yaitu sebagai kampus keuangan terbaik. Hal ini tercermin dari kurikulum program studi yang inovatif, kemudian dari fasilitas yang memadai, dan unit kegiatan mahasiswa yang membantu mengembangkan hard skill dan soft skill mahasiswa Perbanas Institute.
Saya bangga menjadi mahasiswa Fakultas Teknologi Informasi, karena mahasiswa Fakultas Teknologi Informasi mendapatkan penghargaan di kancah internasional berbasis lumbung data yang diberikan oleh Kementerian Ristek-Dikti.
Lokasi Perbanas Institute yang sangat strategis, yaitu berada di segitiga emas, memberikan kesempatan bagi saya untuk kuliah tanpa harus meninggalkan pekerjaan.
Sebagai kampus modern, Perbanas Institute juga menyediakan fasilitas dan sarana pendidikan yang lengkap guna menunjang kebutuhan perkuliahan para mahasiswa dan mahasiswi kami yang bersiap memasuki dunia kerja. Fasilitas yang kami miliki antara lain laboratorium dealing room, laboratorium bank mini, laboratorium bank mini syariah, Cisco Academy Laboratorium, perpustakaan dengan koleksi buku dan e-jurnal yang terbaru, sarana olahraga, sarana ibadah, food court taman asri, lounge mahasiswa, gerai investasi, dan laboratorium akuntansi dan manajemen. Selain banyaknya fasilitas yang dapat menunjang perkuliahan, di Perbanas Institute juga terdapat banyak jenis unit kegiatan mahasiswa sebagai sarana untuk mengembangkan talenta yang mereka miliki.
Sebagai dosen Perbanas Institute sekaligus praktisi di bidang perbankan, saya menilai bahwa sistem pengajaran di Perbanas Institute sudah sangat bagus. Karena mahasiswa tidak hanya mendapatkan teori saja, tetapi juga praktek di lapangan. Hal ini diuntungkan karena Perbanas memiliki 80 bank yang memperbolehkan mahasiswa melakukan riset, magang maupun juga pengabdian kepada masyarakat.
Menghadapi era disrupsi saat ini, dibutuhkan tenaga kerja yang kreatif, dinamis, dan inovatif tentunya. Di sini kami melihat link and match antara kebutuhan dari industri dengan lulusan dari Perbanas Institute yang memiliki kemampuan dan kompetensi yang dibutuhkan di sektor keuangan perbankan yang diperoleh dari proses pembelajaran formal yang up to date dengan basis kompetensi dan pengembangan soft skill dan social intelligence membuat lulusan Perbanas Institute sangat diminati oleh industri keuangan perbankan.
Selain itu, Perbanas juga memiliki fasilitas untuk menunjang mahasiswa dalam bentuk laboratorium, tempat mereka berkumpul, maupun perpustakaan yang menunjang untuk proses belajar mengajar. Oleh karena itu, Perbanas saya menilai sudah memenuhi tantangan masa depan di mana mereka sudah siap pakai, tidak hanya sekedar memenuhi tuntutan mendapat pendidikan tinggi.
Selama 50 tahun berdiri, Perbanas Institute telah meraih banyak prestasi yang membanggakan, baik itu penghargaan akademik maupun penghargaan non-akademik.
Perbanas Institute adalah perguruan tinggi pilihan utama bagi the next leaders, para calon mahasiswa diploma, sarjana, dan pasca sarjana di bidang perbankan, keuangan, serta informatika.
Perbanas Institute, envision your future today. Perbanas Institute didirikan pada tahun 1969 oleh Yayasan Pendidikan Perbanas atau YPP. Perbanas Institute adalah salah satu lembaga pendidikan tinggi pertama yang menyelenggarakan pendidikan di bidang keuangan perbankan dan informatika.
Selamat datang di Perbanas Institute. Fokus kami adalah pendidikan perbankan, keuangan, dan informatika dengan kurikulum yang inovatif, dinamis, serta mengintegrasikan pengetahuan teori dan praktek melalui proses pembelajaran yang menyenangkan.
Kampus Perbanas Institut berlokasi strategis di segitiga emas bisnis Ibu Kota Jakarta yang didukung kemudahan akses dan beragam layanan transportasi publik. Terdiri dari bangunan 6 unit yang dilengkapi dengan berbagai sarana fasilitas dan sarana pendidikan yang lengkap dan memadai sebagai kampus modern. Selain kampus utama, Perbanas Institut pun memiliki kampus di Bekasi yang menjadi pelebaran sayap dalam menampung minat para calon mahasiswa di bidang keuangan perbankan dan informatika yang terus bertambah dari tahun ke tahunnya.
Kuliah di Perbanas Institut merupakan sebuah pengalaman yang menyenangkan bagi saya. Kurikulum yang seimbang antara hard skill dan soft skill didesain untuk menciptakan calon pemimpin yang berkualitas. Saya bertemu dengan para dosen yang sangat kompeten, baik akademisi maupun praktisi. Materi yang disampaikannya pun sangat up to date dengan perkembangan bisnis dan dunia kerja. Fasilitas kampus yang lengkap dan modern sangat membantu mahasiswanya untuk berinteraksi, bersosialisasi, dan membangun kehidupan kampus yang menyenangkan bagi para mahasiswanya.
Kesuksesan mahasiswa Perbanas Institut selalu menjadi prioritas kami. Terlihat pada data profil alumni berdasarkan masa tunggu kerja dan profil alumni berdasarkan jenis pekerjaan. Saat ini, Perbanas Institut memiliki 3 fakultas yang terdiri dari Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis, Fakultas Teknologi Informasi, dan Sekolah Pasca Sarjana. Kami sangat berkompeten dalam membentuk dan mengembangkan sumber daya manusia yang profesional, handal, dan bermartabat di bidang manajemen bisnis, keuangan, serta perbankan di sektor swasta maupun di sektor publik.
Kemampuan dari Perbanas Institut dalam mengembangkan sumber daya manusia yang dibutuhkan oleh industri keuangan dan perbankan tentunya sudah tidak diragukan lagi.
Saat ini, program studi yang ada di Fakultas Teknologi Informasi memberikan kesempatan untuk melakukan pengembangan pengetahuan yang lebih dalam mengenai teknologi. Dengan peluang karir sebagai Network Specialist, Web Developer, Business and System Analyst, dan Information System Specialist.
Dengan kurikulum yang mengadopsi konsep link and match dengan kebutuhan industri sehingga dapat menghasilkan sumber daya manusia yang profesional dan handal. Hal ini tentunya akan membantu mengeskalasi jenjang karir dan jejaring kerja yang saya miliki.
Perbanas Institut juga pernah mendapatkan penghargaan, yaitu sebagai kampus keuangan terbaik. Hal ini tercermin dari kurikulum program studi yang inovatif, kemudian dari fasilitas yang memadai, dan unit kegiatan mahasiswa yang membantu mengembangkan hard skill dan soft skill mahasiswa Perbanas Institut.
Saya bangga menjadi mahasiswa Fakultas Teknologi Informasi karena mahasiswa Fakultas Teknologi Informasi mendapatkan penghargaan di kancah internasional berbasis lumbung data yang diberikan oleh Kementerian Ristek-Dikti.
Lokasi Perbanas Institute yang sangat strategis, yaitu berada di segitiga emas, memberikan kesempatan bagi saya untuk kuliah tanpa harus meninggalkan pekerjaan.
Sebagai kampus modern, Perbanas Institut juga menyediakan fasilitas dan sarana pendidikan yang lengkap guna menunjang kebutuhan perkuliahan para mahasiswa dan mahasiswi kami yang bersiap memasuki dunia kerja. Fasilitas yang kami miliki antara lain Laboratorium Dealing Room, Laboratorium Bank Mini, Laboratorium Bank Mini Syariah, Cisco Academy Laboratorium, perpustakaan dengan koleksi buku dan e-jurnal yang terbaru, sarana olahraga, sarana ibadah, food court taman asri, lounge mahasiswa, gerai investasi, dan laboratorium akuntansi dan manajemen. Selain banyaknya fasilitas yang dapat menunjang perkuliahan, di Perbanas Institut juga terdapat banyak jenis unit kegiatan mahasiswa sebagai sarana untuk mengembangkan talenta yang mereka miliki.
Sebagai dosen Perbanas Institut sekaligus praktisi di bidang perbankan, saya menilai bahwa sistem pengajaran di Perbanas Institut sudah sangat bagus. Karena mahasiswa tidak hanya mendapatkan teori saja, tetapi juga praktek di lapangan. Hal ini diuntungkan karena Perbanas memiliki 80 bank yang memperbolehkan mahasiswa melakukan riset, magang, maupun juga pengabdian kepada masyarakat.
Menghadapi era disrupsi saat ini, dibutuhkan tenaga kerja yang kreatif, dinamis, dan inovatif tentunya. Di sini kami melihat link and match antara kebutuhan dari industri dengan lulusan dari Perbanas Institut yang memiliki kemampuan dan kompetensi yang dibutuhkan di sektor keuangan perbankan yang diperoleh dari proses pembelajaran formal yang up to date dengan basis kompetensi dan pengembangan soft skill dan social intelligence membuat lulusan Perbanas Institut sangat diminati oleh industri keuangan perbankan.
Selain itu, Perbanas juga memiliki fasilitas untuk menunjang mahasiswa dalam bentuk laboratorium, tempat mereka berkumpul, maupun perpustakaan yang menunjang untuk proses belajar mengajar. Oleh karena itu, Perbanas saya menilai sudah memenuhi tantangan masa depan di mana mereka sudah siap pakai, tidak hanya sekedar memenuhi tuntutan mendapat pendidikan tinggi.
Selama 50 tahun berdiri, Perbanas Institut telah meraih banyak prestasi yang membanggakan, baik itu penghargaan akademik maupun penghargaan non-akademik.
Perbanas Institut adalah perguruan tinggi pilihan utama bagi the next leaders, para calon mahasiswa diploma, sarjana, dan pasca sarjana di bidang perbankan, keuangan, serta informatika.
Perbanas Institute, envision your future today. Perbanas Institut didirikan pada tahun 1969 oleh Yayasan Pendidikan Perbanas atau YPP. Perbanas Institut adalah salah satu lembaga pendidikan tinggi pertama yang menyelenggarakan pendidikan di bidang keuangan perbankan dan informatika.
Selamat datang di Perbanas Institut. Fokus kami adalah pendidikan perbankan, keuangan, dan informatika dengan kurikulum yang inovatif, dinamis, serta mengintegrasikan pengetahuan teori dan praktek melalui proses pembelajaran yang menyenangkan.
Kampus Perbanas Institut berlokasi strategis di segitiga emas bisnis Ibu Kota Jakarta yang didukung kemudahan akses dan beragam layanan transportasi publik. Terdiri dari bangunan 6 unit yang dilengkapi dengan berbagai sarana fasilitas dan sarana pendidikan yang lengkap dan memadai sebagai kampus modern. Selain kampus utama, Perbanas Institut pun memiliki kampus di Bekasi yang menjadi pelebaran sayap dalam menampung minat para calon mahasiswa di bidang keuangan perbankan dan informatika yang terus bertambah dari tahun ke tahunnya.
Kuliah di Perbanas Institut merupakan sebuah pengalaman yang menyenangkan bagi saya. Kurikulum yang seimbang antara hard skill dan soft skill didesain untuk menciptakan calon pemimpin yang berkualitas. Saya bertemu dengan para dosen yang sangat kompeten, baik akademisi maupun praktisi. Materi yang disampaikannya pun sangat up to date dengan perkembangan bisnis dan dunia kerja. Fasilitas kampus yang lengkap dan modern sangat membantu mahasiswanya untuk berinteraksi, bersosialisasi, dan membangun kehidupan kampus yang menyenangkan bagi para mahasiswanya.
Kesuksesan mahasiswa Perbanas Institut selalu menjadi prioritas kami. Terlihat pada data profil alumni berdasarkan masa tunggu kerja dan profil alumni berdasarkan jenis pekerjaan. Saat ini, Perbanas Institut memiliki 3 fakultas yang terdiri dari Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis, Fakultas Teknologi Informasi, dan Sekolah Pasca Sarjana. Kami sangat berkompeten dalam membentuk dan mengembangkan sumber daya manusia yang profesional, handal, dan bermartabat di bidang manajemen bisnis, keuangan, serta perbankan di sektor swasta maupun di sektor publik.
Kemampuan dari Perbanas Institut dalam mengembangkan sumber daya manusia yang dibutuhkan oleh industri keuangan dan perbankan tentunya sudah tidak diragukan lagi.
Saat ini, program studi yang ada di Fakultas Teknologi Informasi memberikan kesempatan untuk melakukan pengembangan pengetahuan yang lebih dalam mengenai teknologi. Dengan peluang karir sebagai Network Specialist, Web Developer, Business and System Analyst, dan Information System Specialist.
Dengan kurikulum yang mengadopsi konsep link and match dengan kebutuhan industri sehingga dapat menghasilkan sumber daya manusia yang profesional dan handal. Hal ini tentunya akan membantu mengeskalasi jenjang karir dan jejaring kerja yang saya miliki.
Perbanas Institut juga pernah mendapatkan penghargaan, yaitu sebagai kampus keuangan terbaik. Hal ini tercermin dari kurikulum program studi yang inovatif, kemudian dari fasilitas yang memadai, dan unit kegiatan mahasiswa yang membantu mengembangkan hard skill dan soft skill mahasiswa Perbanas Institut.
Saya bangga menjadi mahasiswa Fakultas Teknologi Informasi karena mahasiswa Fakultas Teknologi Informasi mendapatkan penghargaan di kancah internasional berbasis lumbung data yang diberikan oleh Kementerian Ristek Dikti.
Lokasi Perbanas Institut yang sangat strategis, yaitu berada di segitiga emas, memberikan kesempatan bagi saya untuk kuliah tanpa harus meninggalkan pekerjaan.
Sebagai kampus modern, Perbanas Institut juga menyediakan fasilitas dan sarana pendidikan yang lengkap guna menunjang kebutuhan perkuliahan para mahasiswa dan mahasiswi kami yang bersiap memasuki dunia kerja. Fasilitas yang kami miliki antara lain Laboratorium Dealing Room, Laboratorium Bank Mini, Laboratorium Bank Mini Syariah, Cisco Academy Laboratorium, perpustakaan dengan koleksi buku dan e-jurnal yang terbaru, sarana olahraga, sarana ibadah, food court taman asri, lounge mahasiswa, gerai investasi, dan laboratorium akuntansi dan manajemen. Selain banyaknya fasilitas yang dapat menunjang perkuliahan, di Perbanas Institut juga terdapat banyak jenis unit kegiatan mahasiswa sebagai sarana untuk mengembangkan talenta yang mereka miliki.
Sebagai dosen Perbanas Institut, sekaligus praktisi di bidang perbankan, saya menilai bahwa sistem pengajaran di Perbanas Institut sudah sangat bagus. Karena mahasiswa tidak hanya mendapatkan teori saja, tetapi juga praktek di lapangan. Hal ini diuntungkan karena Perbanas memiliki 80 bank yang memperbolehkan mahasiswa melakukan riset, magang, maupun juga pengabdian kepada masyarakat.
Menghadapi era disrupsi saat ini, dibutuhkan tenaga kerja yang kreatif, dinamis, dan inovatif tentunya. Di sini kami melihat link and match antara kebutuhan dari industri dengan lulusan dari Perbanas Institut yang memiliki kemampuan dan kompetensi yang dibutuhkan di sektor keuangan perbankan yang diperoleh dari proses pembelajaran formal yang up to date dengan basis kompetensi dan pengembangan soft skill dan social intelligence membuat lulusan Perbanas Institute sangat diminati oleh industri keuangan perbankan.
Selain itu, Perbanas juga memiliki fasilitas untuk menunjang mahasiswa dalam bentuk laboratorium, tempat mereka berkumpul, maupun perpustakaan yang menunjang untuk proses belajar mengajar. Oleh karena itu, Perbanas saya menilai sudah memenuhi tantangan masa depan, di mana mereka sudah siap pakai, tidak hanya sekedar memenuhi tuntutan mendapat pendidikan tinggi.
Selama 50 tahun berdiri, Perbanas Institute telah meraih banyak prestasi yang membanggakan, baik itu penghargaan akademik maupun
Well, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to start our event today. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The Honorable Professor Dr. Haryono Umar as a Vice Rector for Resources and Research Development Affairs. The Honorable Professor Dr. Harya Damar Widiputra as Vice Rector for Academic and Strategic Planning Affairs. The Honorable Professor Dr. Step Subaneja, Dean of Perbanas Institute Graduate School. Our distinguished speaker, Mr. William Loh Wee Loon, as Customer Success Partner, Emerald Publishing East Asia, and all distinguished participants. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our international journal webinars, which entitles How to Publish a High-Quality Paper in a Reputable Journal. This international webinar is hosted by Perbanas Institute Library and in collaborations with Directorate of Research and Community Services. Today, 15th of September 2023. It is an honor for me to be with you, and I'm Ovalia, and I will lead this international webinar this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, our agenda today is as follows. The first one is introductions, and then singing the national anthem of Indonesia Raya, and then followed with the opening speech, and then followed with the paralizations and question and answers, and closing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our program will be begun with singing the national anthem of Indonesia Raya. So please be pause and listen and singing together.
Bangsa dan tanah
Thank you. For the next agenda, we will listen to opening speech that will be addressed by Professor Dr. Haryono Umar. As Vice Rector for Resources and Research Development Affairs, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Dr. Haryono. Professor Dr. Haryono, the screen is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Opalia PSD. Ms. Opalia is, she managed the Perbanas solution. That's very important for all of the people, especially for the students and lecturer, to improve the competencies, especially the skill for including the technical skill and non-technical skill. I think whenever you need certification or others, you can come to visit the Opalia office. I think that is that right, Opalia? Okay. Let me okay. Let me continue for the keynote. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us for this morning, especially for our honorable and reputable speakers, including from Emerald Publishing, Mr. William Law. Hi, good morning. Nice to meet you this morning, and also the Vice Rector of the Perbanas Institute, Professor Dr. Harya Widiputra, and also the Dean of the Graduate School of the Perbanas Institute, Professor Dr. Step Subanija. And of course, the most important thing is all of the participants this morning from global wide of Indonesia. I don't know, from Malaysia or something like that, but it could be. Let me introduce you this something about how to why the preparing and submit the journal is very important. The first step for you to create the manuscript, the first time you have to search and select the suitable and prestigious and also the reputable international journals. For instance, the Emerald, okay? And also, in order to search and select that kind of the prestigious international journal, you have to think about some factors. For instance, the cost. It will be charged you in dollars, and also it could be in euros, yen, RM, etc., etc. And whenever you convert to rupiah, sometimes it's quite a lot, okay? But it's okay for a reputable international journal. And also type of the publication could be open journal system, closed journal, and etc. And target the audiences, measurement data, and also the impact of the journals, whether it's the WAS, Scopus, and Copernicus, and etc. etc. Publication frequency could be once a year, twice a year, and etc. And also the coverage and the recognition of the journal. And the most important thing for the academician lecturer of the Indonesia, we have to thinking about offer about how the journal will be approved, accepted, and admitted by our universities, and also by the dikti, and for DJI, jenjang jabatan akademik, and also for BKD. And also for BKD, okay? And in order to, preparing the manuscript, there are some steps that in my experiences, the first one we have to thinking about the topic, The topic could be forensic, it could be fraud, it could be corruption, it could be integrated GRC, it could be digital marketing, it could be AI, and etc. etc. There are so many topic that you can that relate to your background. Okay, and also we have to find out about the phenomena. And the research gap. So that's why you have to read so many research, so many journals, and then preparing the review journal. And then in order to make our manuscript is something very valuable, you have to find out about the novelty of your research. The manuscript without any novelty, I think, is not so good. And also you have to prepare the literature studies about the theories, about the variable, etc., etc. And also the hypothesis structure of the research, and of course the research methodology, whether is it quantitative or also qualitative, is okay. And then discussion and conclusion. After you finish writing your manuscript, you have to thinking about how to submit, what kind of journal you want to submit. So that's why whenever you search and select the suitable, prestigious, and reputable international journals, you have to learn how to be accepted by that kind of journal. Especially for the template, you have to learn. Sometimes the template is quite could be complicated, right? And also the criteria for submission, and also the methodology for an article, and of course the correspondence, the discussion with editor is very important, and that's my experiences whenever I prepare the journal, the manuscript for the prestigious reputable international journals. And one thing that I have, I want you know, I want to let you know about this one. Whenever you have already, the reputable international journal, you become an eternity. You never die, even though many years after, even though the world has already changed time and time, but your name is still there. I think so. That's why this is very important, not only for the lecturer, not only for the students, but also for all of us. So your grandchildren, at the time, whenever they search for from the internet, they will find your name over there. Okay, I think that's all for my speech. Thank you very much, and have a nice discussion. You can ask our reputable speakers, from Mr. William, from Haria, for Steps Subanija. They have not only for the not only in academic reviews, but also they really have the experience, some very good experience to learn, to share with you. That's all. Thank you very much. And the screen is back to you, Ophalia. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Dr. Haryono, for the speech and the support, and also the motivation for for publishing in a reputable international journal. Well, okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we start our panel sessions, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Haryono to give the certificates to our speakers. So the certificate will be given to Mr. William Long Wee Loon. Over to you, Professor.
Okay, Mr. William, Professor Maria, that's all the certificate. Hopefully, you will enjoy the certificate. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And the next for Professor Dr. Haria Widi Putra. The certificate. Thank you. Okay, and then the next, the certificate will be given to Professor Dr. Step Subanija as the third speaker. So it will be given by Professor Dr. Haria Umar. Over to you.
Okay, Prof. Step. Thank you, Prof. Step.
Thank you, Prof.
Okay, no problem.
Well, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite you to activate your camera so that we can take a picture together for this session. Please kindly activate your camera, please. The committee, are you ready for this?
Ready.
Ready.
Okay.
Baik, dimulai dari hitungan ketiga. 1, 2, 3. Oke.
Okay, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to proceed our panel discussion session. At this time, we have Mr. William Loh Wee Loon as a customer success partner, Emerald Publishing, East Asia. Hello, Mr. William. You can say hi to the audience.
Selamat pagi.
Okay.
A very good morning to all.
Okay, selamat pagi. Okay, and then the next speaker will be Professor Dr. Haria Damarwidi Putra as a Vice Rector for Academic and Strategic Planning Affairs. Hello, Prof. Haria. Okay, and then the third speaker is Professor Dr. Step Subanija as a Dean of Perbanas Institute Graduate School. Hello, Prof. Step. Selamat pagi.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Well, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we come to our first speaker, Mr. William Loh Wee Loon. He will be talking about publishing, overview, selecting journal and its information, where rejection and peer review process. Before we start, we would like to share the screen of Mr. William CV. Well, okay, Mr. William Wee Loon, okay, the position that he holds now, currently customer success partner, Emerald Publishing East Asia. And then for the degree, he gains in nutrition, University Kebangsaan Malaysia. And then some awards and achievement has been received. The top 3 business manager in year 2021, and then the Emerald Young Researchers Award 2021, and other sales awards and achievement. Well, without further ado, please do welcome Mr. Loh Wee Loon. The screen is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to Dr. Olivia. I extremely like and love the tones and also the energy from our moderator this morning, and also the speech by our Vice Rector this morning as well. Very, very motivating. Allow me to share my screen. Do let me know if you are able to view my PowerPoint slides. Is that viewable? Right, thank you so much. Without further ado, I shall start today's morning sharing. Just a gentle reminder, I tend to talk a lot. Madam Moderator, would you please do remind me if I am over time? Right. Today morning, I am thrilled, I'm excited to share publication guides from the publisher perspective and also experience sharing. I will be talking basically more deeper than what our Vice Rector have shared to us. When I heard from him earlier ago, I was thinking to myself, wow, Vice Rector have already covered most of my presentation as well. So today morning, I'll be talking about publishing's overview, how to select the journal, how do we come across to desk rejections, and also the peer review process. Before I move on, I would like to say our deepest gratitude, our thank you to the organizers, which is from the librarian team, the team of librarians from Pebanas Institute, and also from the Directorate of Research and Community Service, and also iGroup Indonesia. Of course, none other than our own Prof. Dr. Hayono for his motivating, welcoming speech earlier ago. Also a big thank you to our speakers, Professor Dr. Haya Dharma and also Professor Dr. Steph Subanija. None other than our own moderators, Dr. Ovilia from the Pebanas Solutions Center for Training. And a special thank you for me personally to Tia for reminding me, sending me the gentle reminders for me, and also all the information. A very big thank you to Tia. Moving on, I will not be introducing myself again. I'm William from Customer Success from Amber Publishing, based in Malaysia office. Our Malaysia office, fortunate enough to be the regional office for the East Asia. So our Malaysia office here supporting Brunei, Singapore, supporting Indonesia, Philippines, even up to South Korea and also Japan. Together with us, we have Pak Ewan Sukadi dari Jakarta, business manager for our Indonesia. He is well known in Indonesia, and he has been always supporting young authors, young researchers, young academics in terms of publication. If there's anything that both Pak Ewan dan juga William can actually help in terms of the publications, do let us know. Our email address and our phone numbers are on the screen. Before I really move on to my topics, I would like to express a big congratulatory to especially papers that publish from Pebanas Institute here. So the first one is actually from on the paper, which is exploring ITIS, proactive and knowledge transfer on enterprise digital business transformations, EDBT, a technology knowledge perspective. It has the first author is Jinling from China, while followed by Saidi from Indonesia, and also Muhammad Nasir Ismail from UiTM Malaysia, and also Richardus Indrajit from Pebanas. This article, which was published in the Journal of Enterprise Information Management, which is something that I'm really proud. This journal is high Scopus Q1, which is at 97 percentile in Scopus, and also index in SSCI Web of Science here at Clever Analytics. Since the article was first available in Emerald database in 2021, it had already had 1,400 over downloads with 35 citations in 2 years time. In 2 years time itself. So a big thank you. I mean, a big congratulations to Richardus and the team. the same as well on theoretical and empirical validations of information technology, and have goal leadership on knowledge creation in university, leader support, and social media trend. You can see some familiar names, Saidi and also Richardus from Institute Perbanas Jakarta. This paper was published in 2019, probably about 4 years right now. So since then, it had more than 1,300 over downloads with 39 citations. These articles was published in Scopus Q1 again, 88 percentile here, and also indexed in ESCI. The journal is Journal of Science and Technology Policy Management. A big congratulations to Sir Richardus and also the co-authors. This is where I come into my only one questions for my whole presentation. Is it difficult to publish? Is it that difficult to publish? With a few more slides, I hope to motivate you. I hope to provide enough evidence to you in which that publications is not that difficult. When you know about the skills, about the tips, like our vice rector have mentioned, if you know the knowledge of it, make use of the knowledge, and it can help you to survive the publication process. Over here, these are some internal information which I hope to give you a market knowledge in the MORO itself, using the number of articles and also the authors by year. Let's start with Philippines. In Philippines, on year 2020, a minimal 36 articles were published with 56 Filipino authors, while in 2021, slightly lower, 26 articles were published with 40 Filipino authors, while in last year we have 27 articles published with 50 Filipino authors. Our Philippine markets is gaining it's gaining traction. My apology, my daughter terganggu photo boom on my video. So yeah, that's Philippines, because they are just started their publications journey as a country. While we have to look into Indonesia, how Indonesia has been doing so well. Indonesia's in the first year of pandemic, 200 over articles were published with 400 over Indonesians author, while this number had kept on increasing in 2021. 267 articles were published with 500 over Indonesian authors. 330 articles last year was published with 600 over Indonesian authors. This is only from MORO. This data is only reflecting MORO articles. You can see the number of articles, the number of authors actually increasing from Indonesia. Again, as I said, I would like to provide confidence level to our students, to our young authors, young academics, to have a little bit more motivations. You can see from Malaysia, before pandemic, in Malaysia, there are 500 over articles with 900 over authors, and this does not changes even during the first year of pandemic and pandemic times. You can see the numbers of articles increased from 500 to last year 700 articles from Malaysia, from 900 over authors to 1,300 over Malaysian authors here in last year alone. So is it difficult to publish? As we said, once you get to know the guide, the tips, the tricks of publications, we hope that would give you more confidence onto it. This is taken by Dimensions.ai, which is a third party, a very comprehensive research grant database. It's not by MORO. This third party this third-party company combines data from Elsevier's, combine data from Science Direct, Taylor and Francis, Springer Nature, Wiley, Emerald, and others as well, to actually come up with a very comprehensive reporting data. From here, you can see that you can see the you can see from the number one publications by country itself. We have United States, where there are 22 millions publications leading the world, followed by China, where there are 8 million publications, followed by UK, 6 million publications. This is a top 10. US, China, UK, Japan, Germany, France, Canada, India, Italy, and Australia at the 10th positions. Over here, you can see Indonesia's, where there are 600,000 publications. Normally, I would like to ask you what is the positions Indonesia is in the chat, but because of the time, I need to keep track of my time. I will quickly share that I'm very, very proud. I'm very happy. Indonesia is at 23rd place by country that has the highest publications. If you are able to even see down here, quite interesting to see that even Singapore and Malaysia are at 35th and 36th publications, which is not even up there with Indonesia. So this comes back to the big question: is it difficult to publish? I hope I provide enough evidence. I hope I provide enough motivations to our fellow attendees today. It is once you know the tips, the guides, the knowledge on the research, on your methodology, on improving your writings, your proofreading, you will have, you will have more chances of acceptance in the international journal. In Emerald, I'm very proud to say out of 309 journals, 295 journals of in Emerald is in Scopus, while almost 200 journals are also indexed in Clever Analytics. So some of the example on the business management strategy, where we talk about business management and international, business ethics and law, sustainable business practices. So these are the topics area from our Emerald, where we are well known of. From the 55 or 56 journal, 51 of them are in Scopus, 13 is in JCR, and 37 are in ESCI. You can see a similarity in our accounting, finance, and economic journals, where I'm very proud with Emerald Accounting Journal, where we have rich content. We have high impact factor contents on the Islamic accounting, Islamic finance, Islamic bankings. You can see a lot of these research articles coming from Emerald journals here. So from the 41 journals, 38 are in index in Scopus, 7 in JCR, and 30 of them, 41 is in Clever Analytics. Yeah. So publish with Emerald, our vice rector earlier ago talking about publication fee. I would like to take this chance to share good news, or probably news. It's not really news, but something that many people may not know. It is actually free to publish with Emerald journals. It's free to publish with Emerald journals. It's free to publish in Emerald books, and also in teaching cases. You do not need to pay to publish in Emerald journal. Of course, we do have our open access optional This is not a mandatory, it's optional. If you like your article to be in open access article, there is a APC of £2,695, $3,638 for you to consider. Over here, as William, of course, from Emerald, I always say this. I do not believe in pay to publish. If you have your research grant, if you have enough financial to support you, if you have pocket money to spend, I would always advise, I would always suggest to use the pocket money on proofreading, to improve your manuscript, to invest in attending workshop, invest in attending conference. So this is actually where you will get to network with speakers around the world, with methodological guru around the world, to network with them, to have collaborator with them, to have more research articles and research projects with speakers and researchers on the Southeast Asia or from around the world. So it's actually where, as I said, I do not believe paying to publish. You have money to contribute to Emerald. On behalf of Emerald, I would like to say thank you if you like to pay APC to Emerald to publish. But it's actually free to publish. As I was actually trying to also explain, the three revenue or three venue, my apology, three venue, three directions or three way that you can actually publish your work. Of course, the most traditional one would be published in journal. In Emerald Journal, I'm so proud to say that 95% of Emerald Journal is indexed in Scopus. So this is one of our strengths in the social sciences. Emerald is well known in the business management, accounting, on the social sciences itself. 63% of our journal is indexed in Clarivate Analytics, previously known as Web of Science here. It is free to publish. You do not need to pay. But if you would like your article to be in an open access article, then there is an optional for you to consider. Again, as I said, if you have the pocket money, I would like to re-suggest you to consider on the proofreading, to join workshop, to join conferences around our regions, around the world. How about book? It is actually free to publish book with Emerald, and even the book that published with Emerald would be indexed in Scopus. This is something that not all publishers would be able to provide. It's the same things. Being a company, we also provide optional. If you would like to publish an open access book, there is an optional for you to pay, yes, but again, it is free to publish. We also have our teaching cases. It's again free to publish teaching cases with us, and also indexed in Scopus as well. So when we talk about selecting the right journal, over here, I'd like to re-emphasize at this point, selecting the right journal is an investment decision. Please do not chase your time. Please do not be emotional to rush and simply to select a journal. Why? Because once a paper has been published under your name, once that paper is available in the Google Scholar, in your ORCID ID, you know that it will not be. It will follow you in your name, in your profile itself. I also wanted to share some news. In Malaysia, Ministry of Education, and if I remember that correctly, also same with Indonesia. This year alone, there are a few publishers where our Ministry of Education has has banned or has have taken note not to recognize. I do not want to name the publisher name, but the same publisher, if you have published an article in one of those publishers, if you were to apply to go out from Indonesia, example, if you apply a career in China University, as an example, China University this year will not recognize articles that published in the said publisher. If you were to apply a career in another university, they will look your previous publications, and when they have seen the paper has been published in those publishers, they will reconsider your applications, they will reconsider your promotions level. That is how serious the publishing is in the top tier university. So Fighting a Right Journal also requires you to understand who will read your paper, where is there any similar articles that published in the same journal before? Does the journal has global or international outreach? Is it easy to publish in that journal, or are you just wanted to have Q1? Would you consider Q4 as well? How long does this journal takes from submissions to publication? So this is some of the factors that you would need to think about. Another factors that probably you would like to review or to consider, which is what type of paper. Is it a practice paper, research paper, case study paper, or viewpoint? Yeah. So not all journals would accept all this. Some journals would accept SLR, some journal would accept case study, some journals just wanted to focus on impact, research impact, or research impact paper. So yep, those is that. To make a summary of these examples of way to select a right journal, I would say read more articles during your literature review. This is really important. This is, I think, the most basic that we can do. So read more during our literature review, understand more articles, more research out there that similar to your research itself. Once you have enough reading, you probably would see that more articles, some articles may actually comes from the same journal, yeah, and probably you can target the journal per se. So this journal will probably is your targeted list. Some people may even use Google Scholar, they may even use Scopus, they may even use Clever Analytics, the journal ranking itself. So using that, they would use to find the keywords. They will also see which percentile are there. They will, from that particular, they use it to select the journal. Some may even use bibliometric listings to see which research area, which subject area, which topic that they can actually target for the journal. For me, I have always emphasized on special issues. Over here, if you are first time hearing special issues, I hope I can share more with you. Special issues, it is a great way to identify what is the hot topic right now, what is the trend right now. If you are supervisor, if you have supervisee under you, what is the next year topic that you would like to you like your students to engage with? So this is some of the answers that we can find from the special issue. All in all, I cannot establish, I cannot express enough the importance of finding the established and reputable publisher. There are a lot predatory journal out there that aims for your money, or that aims to just build their own journal. So it's important to recognize international journal out there, the reputable journal out there. So these are the one that you really need to look into. Our vice rector earlier ago did mention about journal aim and scope. Yes, read and understand the journal that you target, the aims and scope of the journal, the author guidelines, the author formatting. one of the example would be the abstract. If you have read Emerald abstract before, you might realize that Emerald abstract is very unique. It's actually called the structured abstract. So if you were to send a paragraph abstract to Emerald, straight away it will be rejected. So if you have more time, I always encourage everyone, even me myself, to read more top download articles out there, read more top cited articles out there. The more that we read, the more that we understand the flow, you will see we able to pick up the writing, the writing behavior. How can we have a similar writings with the top downloads and also with the top cited articles. Hope this could give you some clarity on how to select the right journal. In terms of some writing, I may not go very deep on here, but these are some points where editors around the world, reviewers around the world are looking forward to. Number one, the only one, and also the only one is originality. What is the originality of your research? What is the novelty value of your research? What is the new contributions to our stakeholders, example, to our society, to our policymakers in the government, to our influencing, policies in the United Nations, so and so. So originality, the novelty, and the new knowledge, new contributions. So this is always what the editors and reviewers are looking forward to. Of course, they are also the assisting to the knowledge, to the previous research gap. Where can we improve and so. But however, if possible, always relate your research gap to the new contributions. Me myself, I believe in every of the research gap there are new contributions. It's only where we are able to relate, we think to relate our research knowledge, our research gap to the new contributions. Some editors and reviewers will look into the quality of your methods. Is there any wrong about your methods? If you're using qualitative, what should you have to look into? Quantity, mixed methodology. If you are a guru in the empirical data, so what are the tables? What are the table data to actually make sure you are correct? Yeah. So all this methodology. Methodology sometimes could be very troublesome for us. So if you are not strong in methodology, I will advise you to look for guru in the methodology for them to for you to work with them and so. So clarity, structure, quality of writings. How do you write? Here I will advise you not to write a bombastic. Keep it simple, keep it short, keep it easy to read. Have this mindset. If your students, if students around the world able to read and understand your paper, that is actually where the editor and reviewer would like. So it's easy for them to read, easy for anyone to read and understand. That is the best way of writing. So the others are very similar of what you have been practicing. We're talking about the implications of your research. We're talking about more internationality of your research reach. The most recent referencing, the most recent citations, the most recent methodologies to be used, and you must always follow the aim and scope of the journal. So this is the part where I would emphasize in your manuscript itself. Do focus most of them, but there are two parts that I would like you to focus more. The number one, which is abstract. The number two, which is chapter 5, discussions. Abstract is where it will help us to get into a journal. Discussion is where we tell the editor, we tell the reviewer where our research makes a difference, where is our contribution is. So in the discussions part, make use of your number of words, invest your time, invest your energy on the chapter 5, on the discussion itself. So this is where people like me, when we read a manuscript, we will understand, have you answered all your hypotheses? Where are the contributions to the society, to the stakeholders? Is this a award-winning paper? Is it the best paper in the conference? It's all coming from the discussions. So a lot of students will invest their time in chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, introductions, literature review, methodology. Now, I disagree. If you have time, invest your time in the discussions, invest your time in the abstract. So these are the two that would actually make a difference, would actually bring hopefully would actually give you the higher acceptance rate of that. Once you have your manuscript ready, proofreading. Proofreading is very important, especially for countries that our first language is not English. So that is really important. So again, if you have the extra financial support, research grant, or if you have the pocket money to spend it on reading. If you do not have pocket money to spend, don't worry, you can always get your supervisors, or you can get co-authors, co-researchers out there to help you with. So proofreading will help in terms of the grammar mistakes, the spelling mistakes, the punctuations, the flow, the writing of your manuscript itself. But proofreading may not able to help you with your methodological flows, your parameters. So you yourself, or you can engage guru in methodologies to help you to ensure the correctness of your methods, your tables, your flows. If you're using PRS, SEM, what is actually needs to consider, and so and so. So proofreading to ensure your manuscript is the best before you submit that. If you really don't have, if you do not have the financial to support, send it to someone else. Have some other people, or have a fresh pair of eyes to read, to comment on it. So once you're ready to submit, recheck again. Is it the correct journal for you? Read the journal aim and scope. Make sure that your paper fits the journal aim and scope, not the other way around. The journal cannot fit your manuscript. Your manuscript will need to fit the journal aim and scopes. Read the author guidelines. Make sure that you follow the formats, the referencing styles. Example, in Amoro, our abstract is called structured abstract. So you need to follow that. If you were to submit a paragraph abstract, definitely will get rejected. Referencing styles, in Amoro, we are using Harvard referencing. So if you were to submit another styles, so you probably you're not going to be rejected, no, but you will need to revise and to redo everything again. So what are the guidelines? What do you need to provide? Example, the appendix, the tables, the pictures, the graph. Do you need to provide that in the same manuscript, or would you like to provide in the different file format? So these are some of the things that you need to understand for the journal. If time's allowed, I think this is the last part for me where I would like to talk about the peer review process. Sorry, just a time check. May I know how long do I
10
have?
more minutes. 10 more minutes.
10 more minutes? That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
10 more minutes. 5 minutes is good enough. So
Okay, take your time.
peer review process. So once your manuscript is ready to submit. So know the submission portal. So once you submit that to the journal, so what does it goes? The first step, the editor-in-chief will read the title, will read the abstract of your manuscript. In most of the time, they do not read the full paper. They will only read the title and also the abstract. Over here, it will determine the desk review, also called the desk rejections. About 60%, about 70%, between 60 to 70% of the rejection happens here. Editor-in-chief, by reading your abstract, it will determine whether does your abstract fulfill the aim and scope of the journal. Does your abstract follow the MORO formatting? Hence, the 60 to 70% rejects happens over right here. So for the lucky, the fortunate 30 to 40%, it will go into peer review process. The editor will assign reviewers and it will given them a time frame. In MORO, it's about 1 month. 1 month is given to a reviewer. Some are given more than a month. It depends on the journal, but generally it's about 1 month to 2 months time frame for the reviewers to review and come back to the editor. So once the editor receives the reviewer comments and their recommendations, the editor will then make the decisions whether to accept, whether to reject, whether to revise. It is very rare to see the first submissions to be accepted. Sometimes it will be rejected. Sometimes, most of the time, it will go into revisions, minor revisions or major revisions. So if you go into the revisions, the editor will inform the author about the reviewer comments and you send to the author. The author will need to revise and send back to the editor again via the submission portal. So this process will go on for the first revision, second revision, third revisions, so and so until the editor, until the reviewer are satisfied, feel that it is ready to be accepted. If it's accepted, everyone is happy about it. So yeah, and you can tell everyone about that. But if you ask for revisions, so acknowledge the editor and the reviewer comment, set a revision timeline and agree into it. Always revise as soon as possible, reply as soon as possible. If you disagree to the reviewer comments, no worry. Explain to the editor, explain to the reviewer why you disagree into that. So over here, to me, the point here would be prepare a cover letter. In your cover letter, you can use a Microsoft Word, you can use a Microsoft Excel, you can use a table format. You can say, number one, what is a revision? And yes and no. Have you revised? Yes. Then the other column is to write what is your revision. No, then justify why you disagree and why you stand on your ground. Yeah? So prepare that table, prepare that cover letter, and attach that together in your revision. Believe me, it will help to shorten the revision time. It also, the reviewer, the editor appreciate more if you have the cover letter because it helps them to simplify. It also helps them to shorten their time. Unfortunately, rejection happens. I have many rejections. Every time I see rejection email, I feel very sad. Everybody will get sad once our paper is rejected, but not to worry. Ask the journal again. Would you be able to accept my revisions? If it's a yes, then you resubmit again. If it's no, don't worry. Go for others journals. Over here, this is where I will actually ask, would you like to resubmit to the same level of journal or would you like to submit to a lower ranking journal? Because some people may not be confident enough, so they want to submit to a lower ranked journal. Some people, once they have 2 revisions, 3 revisions, and they believe their paper right now are even better than before, they go for higher journal to resubmit again. It really depends on every of the person itself. So I think that's actually all for me. Before I pass back to our moderator of today, just a short promotions to welcome everyone to follow, to like our Facebook, Emerald East and Southeast Asia. The reason why is because over in our Facebook here, we every day we will have 2 to 3 posts about call for paper, about opportunity for being a reviewer, opportunity for editorial posts in our Emerald Journal. And this is the one that I would like you all, students, early career researchers, to grab the opportunity. This year alone, we have this new program, which is called the Early Career Reviewer. So example, in qualitative market research, in a Journal of Accounting and Organizational Change, they would like to nurture new blood. They would like to nurture new reviewer. So if you are a PhD graduate, so this is one pathway for you to grow yourself. From time to time, me, William, and Pak Ewan, we also work with academics to create new special issue. This is one of the example. So together with Professor Brian Wong, Dean of Faculty of Business, Art and Design from Swinburne University of Technology, Sarawak, Kuching, Sarawak, together with Deputy Dean, Dr. Hugh, Deputy Dean, Dr. Fong, and also Dr. Melinda, we came up with a call for people, special issues on the transdisciplinary qualitative research in the Global South, which is under the Qualitative Research Journal, QRJ. Scopus high, Scopus Q2, also in ESCI, Clever Analytics. I will take up any questions from the chat due to the time. I apologize if I cannot answer any questions online here. But over here I'll be shared our slides in the chat if that allows us to do that. So for anyone who would like to approach us, we are all welcome to get in touch with Pak Ewan and also me myself. Without further ado, I'll pass the floor back to our highly energy moderator. Thank you.
Well, okay, thank you, William, for the fruitful presentation. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a very big applause to William. Thank you for sharing, for giving the tips and tricks, okay, about things to ponder when we submit our manuscript. Well, okay, ladies and gentlemen, please hold your questions because it will be another session for the question and answers after the 2 panelists' presentations then. Well, okay, it's time for us to come to the next speakers, okay? So we would like to invite our second speaker, Professor Dr. Haria Damar Widiputra, as the Vice Rector for Academic and Strategic Planning Affairs. He will be talking about why publish in international journal and what institutes high quality research paper. Before we start, we would like to share the screen. So here is the CV of his. Okay, so Professor Dr. Haria Damar Widiputra was born in Jakarta in 10 of December. And then for the educational background, he earned his PhD in doctoral degree in computer and mathematical science, Auckland University of Technology, New Zealand. And then for his master's degree, it was in information technology, Swiss German University, Tangerang. And then his first degree in informatics engineering, Telkom College of Technology, Bandung. And I think for the publication, I don't need to mention because it is a numerous publication that he has already produced. Okay, well, without further ado, please do welcome Professor Dr. Haria Widiputra. The screen is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Oval, for the kind introduction, and thanks again for William for the insightful sharing on the first session. And just to be fast, I would like to use this opportunity to share maybe some of the the information that I have based on my experience about why should we publish in international journal. And actually, some of the information has also been shared by William in this talk. So I think it will be quite fast and easy for me to complete this second session. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, just to confirm that everyone can see the screen. Okay, thank you. So there are some aspects that I would like to talk. And first of all, I would like to start with research and publication, and then maybe some definition about the international journals, because here in Indonesia, our government is quite strict about the standards of international journal. Unfortunately, maybe it is harder, the standard in our government in comparison to other countries. And then maybe some types of international journal also based on the regulation, especially because I think most of the attendees of this webinar are fellow lecturers. So I think this is also important. And then a little bit about Scopus and Simago, and then some benefits of publishing international journal, challenges, and the terms publish or perish. I think this is also quite important. So I would like to start with research and publication. Okay. Wait. Okay, there you go. I would like to get to the basic first. I think this is very important because most of us, we like to think directly into publication. So sometimes we might forget that publication is the process of disseminating knowledge. I think that's the substantial understanding about publication. This is where you publish your work. You expect people to learn what you have achieved, what you have gained, what you found, and this new knowledge is actually the product of a research. So I think for me, the most important thing for us to have a good publication should start with the good research. So it is most likely impossible for us to have a high quality paper, a high quality publication, if we did not conduct any valuable research. So I would like to start with this. It is very difficult for us to jump directly into and expect that we can publish in a high reputable high journals with high impact factor if we don't start with a good quality of research. Because once again, as you can see in the screen, that research is the process of generating knowledge, and publication is actually sort of like the final steps of this, where we actually would like to disseminate the work that we have done, the findings that we get from the research itself. And of course, in order for research to be effective, it needs to be published so people can learn. If you conduct your own research and then you find something that is valuable, but you don't publish, then no one will know. No one will learn, and then no one will have the ability or the opportunity to develop your findings, because research is actually about development from previous findings and previous research. So this is very important for us. Why we need to publish? Because we need feedback, and from feedback, and then it can be another material for us to extend our work. Okay. William also has mentioned in Emerald, and maybe in other publishers as well, there are many different ways to publish research. So journal is not the only one, actually. So of course, we have journal, we have books and book chapters, we have conference proceedings. You can also have some data repositories, some research report, and so on and so forth. So these are many different ways to publish our research. But of course, journal is one of the most the strongest publication that we can do, because again, it is peer review. I think the most important thing with journals is it is peer review. So this process, as explained previously by William, it is the quality assurance systems that make sure that the new findings are novel. While if we publish books, it's actually just up to the editors or maybe the publishers that and you don't really have to find something novel with books. You can actually rewrite previous theory with maybe a more simple language, a more understandable language. You don't really need to have something new with books, right? But journal, it's a totally different story. While conference proceedings, you can use this as well to publish your research, but usually we use conference with ongoing research. So you can get feedback and you can make corrections with your research direction before you actually, at the end, publish your final results in journal. So you can choose conference proceedings. If you try to get some useful feedback from the community, from your fellow researcher, from your fellow lecturer. But then you can use this to shape up your research and then at the end, publish a more strong article for journals. Okay. Now, why is it important? I've already mentioned this, and the first reason is, again, we need to disseminate knowledge. Yeah, we are lecturer, researcher. We need to disseminate knowledge in order to get feedback, right? So once you publish your work, it means that you're open for feedback. You're open to feedback, right? You are open to critics, and maybe you're open to questions and so on and so forth. But we have to treat this as input to perfect our work. Yeah, so we can have more input to conduct further research. We can also use publication to build a reputation. I think William also have mentioned about this. If you publish an article, then it is a highly impact article. You get cited, and then it will open more. It will give you more opportunity to build a reputation as a researcher, and in the end, it can help us to attract funding. Okay, so I think overseas. It will be, if we have a very reputable, we are very have a high reputation as a researcher, then some institution will be attracted for us to give us funding. And in Indonesia itself, if we apply for research grant to the, let's say for the from the Ministry of Education and Culture, having a number of publication in international journal also become standard or a criteria to get the fund. Okay, so there are some reasons for this, why I think it is important for us to publish our work. Okay, so that's the first part. And then I go into the second part, which is the definition of international journal. I think if I search online and maybe from my experience in a global standards, first of all, international journals needs to be periodical publication. So it needs to be published in continue, and it is periodic. So we don't expect this international journal to stop publishing in certain times and then republish in the other year, right? An international journal also need to publish original research articles, reviews, and other materials. William has also mentioned about this. There are some journals that accept SLR articles or reviews. There are other journals that will only accept research results, which contribute to the development of your field, and so on and so forth. Now, another standard is it is peer-reviewed. So journal is always, a good journal is always peer-reviewed. And usually now it is blind peer-reviewed, means that we don't know who the reviewers are, and the reviewers are also don't know who write the articles. Because we, at the beginning, when we submit the article, usually we are asked to remove our name, our affiliation, and any other information that can relate the article to a specific person, right? And usually it is published in English, even though some journals, it is high reputable international journal and they use maybe Spanish or maybe Arabic or maybe Chinese or Russian, but usually international journals, scientific international journals, that is high reputable, it is published in English. The next one is it is indexed in major databases. Here we use Scopus as a reference of a major database. William also mentioned about Scopus, and I think everyone here is also familiar about the term Scopus. So Scopus is actually a database that do indexation for journals and articles, while Emerald is, I think it's not, I think Emerald is a publisher. I think William can explain better later on about the difference between Emerald and Scopus, right? And has a high impact factor. This is it's related with the citation that the journal receive from time to time, and usually this is measured on an annual basis or yearly basis. So these are the common standard, the global standards of international journal. While in Indonesia, I use the POPAK 2019. That's the petunjuk operasional penilaian angka kredit tahun 2019. This is what we use, or this is what it is used by the Ministry of Education and Culture, Research and Technology to determine when we are submitting our proposal to get a promotion in our jabatan fungsional. Okay, so I adopt this, I translate this into English from Indonesian, right? So the first time they said that it's fulfill scientific method and academic ethics. I think this is quite clear, and it must have an ISSN. Okay, I think that is quite clear also, and it can be written in United Nations official language, which is it can be in Arabic, English, French, Russian, Spanish, or Chinese. But again, I think most of the journal will ask us to write our article in English. Now, this is another edition that is maybe quite specific from our government. It have to have an online version. Okay, and then the editorial board need to comes from 4 different countries. So Dikti, in this case, will check about this. Yeah, when we publish a journal in international, when we publish an article in international journal. Okay, and the next one, the writers come from minimum 2 different countries in a single number. So they will also check in a single number if all the writers in that particular number are coming only from a single countries, then this does not mean meet the standards of our Indonesian government. Okay, the journal website can be accessed online, and then the second one, the next one is very important: accountable review process. And our government would ask for some correspondence record as proof, right? So because William showed us the flowchart of how this review process is done by journals, especially maybe in Emerald, but I think that's a common or standard process. Now, to prove that this process is being carried on accountably, then our government always asks these days for correspondent record as proof, and they will actually measure whether this journal is a good journal based on this review process. Number of articles and format are consistent in each publication is another criteria that is set by our government. Okay, so that's the definition. As I mentioned earlier, the global criteria, maybe it is easier to fulfill in comparison to our government criteria about journals. Okay. Now about some types of international journal. Again, I'm using the standard that is set by our government based on POPAK 2019, and our government actually divides the international journal into 3, actually 3, not 2, but in general, maybe there are 2. First, reputable international journal, And then the international journal that is indexed by international database, which is not Scopus. So reputable international journal means that the journal needs to be indexed by Scopus. Okay, so means that it is reputable. And then our government divide this reputable international journal into two different types of journal. Reputable international journal without high impact and with high impact. And the standard that they use to determine which one is with high impact and which one without high impact is based on the SGR score or the SIMAGO journal rank. So if a journal indexed by Scopus and it has an SGR score less than 0.1, means that it's a reputable international journal without high impact. Okay, but if a journal indexed by Scopus and it has an SGR score equal to or above 0.1, then it is categorized as a reputable international journal with high impact. Okay, and the difference in our case, this will get maximum, the one with SGR score less than 0.1 will get a maximum point of 30. Yeah, so you won't get more than 30 if you publish in this journal with SGR score less than 0.1. But if you publish in international journal with SGR score equal to or more than 0.1, then you can get up to 40 points. That's our government standards. And other those two, there are also international journals which is not indexed by the Scopus, but it is indexed by other international databases such as EBSCO, Copernicus, SG by Clarivate, Analytics, and so on and so forth. And for this one, you get maximum of 20 points. Okay, so again, this is based on the standards of our government, especially when we submitting our promotion for jabatan fungsional. Okay. Okay, next one, it's about Scopus and SIMAGO. I think this is just a fast slides. Scopus, again, is actually a bibliographic database. So that index peer review literature, and it does not only index journals. William has mentioned that all books in Emeralds also being indexed by Scopus. Maybe Emeralds also work with some conference committee and then can also produce some conference proceedings that is indexed by Scopus as well. So they don't always, they don't only index journals, but can also book chapters and also conference proceedings. Okay, and Scopus is not a publisher, so they don't publish journals. They serve us as a bibliographic database, right? And Scopus has become a standard in measuring journal quality because it is a comprehensive database that indexes a wide range of peer-reviewed journal, right? It provides a variety of metrics to measure the impact of research. It is a trusted source of information. And now these days it is widely used by researchers, maybe also to select which journal they are aiming for publication. And it's constantly being updated. Yeah, means
Excuse
that
me.
it, yes.
5 more minutes ya, Pak.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and the other one is SIMAGO, as I mentioned, SGR. SGR is actually a leading provider in scientometrics tools and indicators. So SGR specifically measure the impact of a journal. Yeah, and we can use this to again see how impactful a journal is. Okay, now next, benefits of publishing in international journal. Again, I've mentioned this in the early parts of my presentation. Share research, get feedback, build reputation. We can also connect with other researchers because people will from all over the world will read our article, and then we can get maybe some offer for collaboration. And also to fulfill funding requirements. If you receive research grant, usually they will ask you to publish in some typical journals. And particularly in Indonesia, publications in reputable international journal are required to progress our academic career, right? And Few things that we should keep in mind. William has mentioned about this. You need to choose a journal that is relevant to your field of research. And then you need to make sure that the journal has a good reputation as it is peer reviewed. Again, follow the journal submission guide carefully. This is, William mentioned that 70% article is being rejected at the first stage of the submission. They don't even go to the review process, yeah, because they don't meet the standard, they don't meet the guidelines, and so on and so forth. So point 3 is very important. And then if you go through, if you went through the first stage and then it is being reviewed and revised, some reviewer asks you to do revision, then you need to revise your manuscript carefully based on the feedback from the reviewers. Okay. Challenges, language barrier. William also has mentioned about this peer review process. It can be lengthy and time consuming, and yeah, it will make us frustrated. Yeah, if it is rejected, and everyone get rejected, right? No one, I don't believe that no one never being rejected when they're submitting an article of a journal. High rejection rates, usually the acceptance rates is only about 25% for high quality journal. And then cost of publishing, APC, right? You need to consider about this in relation to open access. Mostly the open access journal will require us to pay for APC. If you don't want to pay, then you can choose the unopen access journal. Okay, now, okay, I went to this. This is maybe the last part of my presentation. It's publish or perish. So we, as a lecturer, as a researcher, we need to publish, right? Otherwise, we will be perish. If we don't publish, means that it will impact our career, or maybe it will end up, we will end up in a career stagnation, or even in the worst case, we will even lose our job. So we need to publish, and to do so, I think, again, at the beginning I mentioned, we need to do research, and we need to make sure that our research is valuable, and therefore we can produce a very a high quality article that can be submitted to high reputable journals. Okay, so again, I think this is just a summary about what constitutes a high quality article, but in detail, William has mentioned about this. Again, if we talk about the key elements of a high quality research paper, clear and concise introduction, yeah, and then a well-developed methodology. I remember William mentioned about a good methodology all the times, and even suggests us, if you don't have a good, a strong methodology, then you need to find a guru for this. Okay, I think this is very important. And then clear and concise presentation of the results. We present our data and then findings of the study in a clear and concise way, and this needs to be supported by data. We have a discussion section, yeah, and a well-written conclusion, right? In general, those are, I think, the important things that need to be paid attention when we write our research article. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you very much. I'm sorry if I take more time than it should be.
No. Just precisely.
Okay, thank you. That's good. Okay, so I'll give the screen and time back to our moderator, Ms. Oval. Thank you very much.
Well, okay, thank you very much for the insightful presentation, Professor Haria Widiputra. You have already mentioned what is a reputable international journal and what constitutes in it, okay? And then, okay, ladies and gentlemen, so it's time for us to invite our third presenters, Professor Dr. Steps Subanija, as a Dean of Perbanas Institute Graduate Schools. He will discuss about the best practice of research writing and how writing in high quality paper. So let me read his curriculum vitae. Professor Dr. Steps Subanija was born in Yogyakarta on 7 November 1959. Okay, and then he earned his doctoral degree in business management Pajajaran University Bandung, and then for the Master of Science in General Management, Swinburne University of Technology Australia, and his first degree is in Bachelor of Management Science Diponegoro University in Semarang. For the publication, he has already produced a lot of publication in both what is it? You can see here from the Scopus and G Scholars and so on. Well, okay, without further ado, please do welcome the presenters, Professor Dr. Start Subanija. The screen is yours, Prof.
Thank you, Miss Ovalia. She is, someone who has very high attractiveness regarding how to communicate with other people. And also thank you, Mr. William and Prof. Haryadamar, who already mentioned about many things, about almost anything regarding how to publish our manuscript to our journal publisher. Bapak Ibu, good morning and almost good afternoon. We as a researcher or we as an author look forward to getting our work published in high impact journal with ease. But I think it is not as simple as may wish it to be. From my point of view, Bapak Ibu, getting our manuscript published in a high quality international journal is very, very challenging. Today, let me share a little of my experience regarding writing research article in a reputable international journal. So, what is a research article, Bapak Ibu? It is very simple. A research article is, just a journal article in which the authors report on the research they did. And then, what is the content of a research article? A research article is, research article use a standard format, and research article usually has 7 sections: title, abstracts, introduction, what else? Method, result, discussion, and references. And how we write a title on our article. The title of an article is key factors in determining whether the entire article will be read. It is also a title should be, descriptive, giving the reader an idea of the focus of the study. Because, in the internet era, the internet has made it possible to access so many research articles online. A title should contain, enough keywords for an interested reader to find the article. How about an abstract? The abstract, Bapak Ibu, meanwhile, is talking about as a mini summary of the study. Many readers will review the abstract, and based on the findings, the reader will decide whether to read the entire article. The body of research article always begin with an introduction or nobody. The introduction of a research article should state the problem being studied and the reason for the study. To place the research in proper context, the introduction should contain a brief summary, which consists of, first is about phenomenon gap, and the second is research gap, already mentioned by Mr. William, and urgency of the research. We usually forget about this urgency. And the most important thing, the most crucial thing is novelty. And the last one is aims of the research. By presenting an overview of the previous research, that is the research gaps, we can explain how the study presented in the article will contribute to and expand the body of knowledge. Then we are talking about literature review, but and this time we will not discuss about this. After that, we are talking about method, already mentioned also by Mr. William and Prof. Haryadamar. This method usually outline the methodology, including information on method used that allow reader to determine whether the study use appropriate research method for the question being investigated. And also it is also makes it possible for other researchers to replicate the study and see if they obtain the same result. Then the last one is we write research result. As we know that the research result section will present the data. It is something like, like the meat of the body. Dagingnya kita. It is easy to confuse the result with the discussion section. The result section should only report the result from the data analysis, regardless of whether the study is qualitative or maybe quantitative. And then is the discussion. The discussion presents an interpretation of the results of the study, and the author will, summarize the finding and access them in the larger context of the existing knowledge, pointing out the way in which their finding relate to those from prior studies. Any unusual or any unexpected result will be discussed in this section as well. Finally, in this discussion section, the author will consider the large theoretical implication of the study result. Our question is now, is it hard to publish our article? The answer for me is maybe yes, maybe no. Getting research published is a time-consuming task. It can make, it can take months or maybe years for journals to get back to us with a rejection, which make it all the more frustrating. But Bapak Ibu, don't give up. Keep on trying, and we will improve our ability and our chances. It is very easy to say, Bapak Ibu. Now, choosing the right journal. Each journal has its own aims, and each journal has its own scope. So the acceptance of article is not just about quality, but also about being a good fit. Does your work reflect the scope of the journal? Is open access important to us? And also, does the journal have an open access model available? The question is, what is readership of the journal? And is that readership the right audience for our work? Researching the best match for our manuscript will significantly improve our chances of being accepted. Ibu dan Bapak, based on our experience, I have at least 10 steps to get our work published in a high quality and reputable international journal with ease. So I have 10 steps, but the real step is just step sebanija. Just kidding, Ibu dan Bapak. We need strategies and technique which may help us both drive our chances of getting our work published in high impact, reputable international journal. So we provide 10 steps to publish our article for Ibu dan Bapak. It may be more than 10 steps maybe when we think more detail regarding our manuscript. The first step, number one, is quality of our manuscript. The quality is our manuscript is, I think, paramount consideration. The question is, what are the benchmark for quality? To answer the question, we can probably brainstorm and answer several questions. For example, is there something innovative? Is there something, not available earlier than had this done in our manuscript? This is an important question that we need to answer sincerely and honestly. Then the other thing which need to be analyzed is whether you have done something challenging in your work. And does our manuscript or work have some interesting conclusion that may interest other researchers? That's all about question. Number two is editing and proofreading of our work. This is very important. Once your work is ready, you must get it proofread by a professional proofreading service provider. High quality editors are employed by editing and proofreading company. I think this is essential before we submit to a high impact international journal. And also it enhances your expression and get our work ready for being published. Step number three is, make sure that our article is worthy of being published. We will suggest as some ways. Present your topic clearly and simply. It's important to present it clearly and simply throughout our manuscript. The core message of our work should be very, very clear. Structuring and formatting, work on proper structuring and formatting of your topic. Yeah. And the title and the abstract. The title and abstract of our article need to be right. The title of the article should be concise, and the core concept of theme of your manuscript should be reflected. And then the article abstract should tell us the entire story of the work clearly and concisely. Number four is high quality cover letter. This is part. This part is maybe or may probably forget for us. Yeah. A good and high quality cover letter is crucial before we submit a prestigious journal. The cover letter should tell us the core message, and the cover letter should be interesting, what else? Informative and also innovative. our cover letter is very important to make the first impression about our manuscript. Some of, the tip for writing a good cover letter for our matrix, for example, we have, to brainstorm why the journal publisher should accept our work and whether it fits to our structure and theme of the journal. This is very important question. We should be sure that our manuscript is a good fit to be accepted for publication in the journal. We need to present our manuscript in a very interesting way to the publisher. Our idea should look exciting, interesting, and innovative to the publisher. Our cover letter must have the winning point which impress the publisher. And Ibu dan Bapak, let's try to bring out, the positive points and try to ignore any negative point in our cover letter. Number 4 is result and references. Please ensure that you write the result clearly and simply. Make it easy for the reader to understand about our article. References are also crucial as well. The references and also acknowledgement section is also very important. We suggest Ibu dan Bapak to try to have a variety of references. And number 6 is pictures and graph. Picture and graph. Yeah. It is said that a picture tells 1,000 words. Pictures and something like infographics help us to explain our subject matter. So be also aware about this. And step number 7 is collect feedback from our peer and mentor. Bapak Ibu, try collecting feedback from your peer and mentors from the work you have done. Yeah. The suggestion may draw your attention to some of your mistakes. It may also help us to open a different dimension for our manuscript. Apart from that, simple language error, as also mentioned by Mr. William, and formatting can also be removed. And number 8, this is very important. Do not cram too many objectives in one paper. It's important that we do not cram too many objectives in one single manuscript. It will make our work confused. Also, it is highly advisable that we create different paper based on objectives, or maybe divide our work into different sets of articles. This is a more logical way. Also, it is not possible, Bapak Ibu, to write everything about our PhD, for example, Bapak Ibu, or write about our PhD in just 6,000 words. It is not possible. It is impossible, Bapak Ibu. So be logical way. Number 9 is revise and resubmit again our work to the publisher. It is highly suggested that we directly respond to the comment of the review and make the correction, and then resubmit our work. Be logical and factual in our response. It is also mean that we fact check our responses. Illogical or false responses may affect the chance of publication. It may also show our awareness of related topic in our manuscript. So, Bapak Ibu, be knowledgeable and do a lot of homework on our responses. We must resubmit our work after clearly dealing with all review points. Bapak Ibu can challenge the review point, but as suggested, we must do our homework. Do not quickly respond to the review. Be logical, be knowledgeable, and also be patient. The last one is pray and pay. Yeah. We need to pray, Bapak Ibu, so that our work can be published. Once there is an information from the publisher that the manuscript will be published, we have to pay a certain amount of money. Except, it is free for Emirate, as mentioned by Mr. William, But usually we have to pay a certain amount of money. Please, Ibu Bapak, do not ask for a discount. That is the fixed price. That's all, Miss Ovalia. Thank you, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Prof. Steph a very big applause for his insightful presentation. This is interesting, Prof. Steph. You have already mentioned about the 10 steps of submitting your journal. One step that really attracts me is about the high quality cover letter. This is the thing that never crossed in my mind. I was thinking that cover letter is just about sending the application letter. Okay, but we need to have the cover letter as well with giving attractive and then the worthiness of our manuscript to the publisher to ensure them that it is it can be accepted like that. And then, this is great. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have already listened to the 3 panelists. The first speaker is William. He is talking about the tips and tricks on submitting in Emerald Journal publications, and then also about the process of submission, and then also about the why our manuscript is rejected. And then Prof. Haria has already mentioned about what constitute in international journal, the reputable one, and the benefits and the challenging. And the last panelist is talking about the best practice in writing a qualified paper. Well, okay, so it's time for us to have a discussion. I do believe that you have a lot of questions, and then I would like to inform you that there will be gift. Okay, so for the best persons who ask question, we will provide 3 e-money. Okay, each is 150,000 rupees for the 3 question from the participants, and then 2 free registration form for graduate program if you would like to enroll yourself, okay, to register to our graduate program. So you will be free. So it will be for 2 persons, and then 3 free forms registration for the extension program. So I would like to open this discussion. Please raise your hand if you've got any question, or probably you can also write down in the chat room. Thank you. Any questions? Yes. I have interesting gift, okay, with 3 e-money, okay. Each of them is 150 rupiah. Okay, there is a question. I think, okay, Rizal Maulana, is there any fundamental differences between a systematic literature review and literature review in social science research? Okay, I think this question will be addressed to Prof. Arya or Prof. Step or William.
Yeah, thank you for the question. The question is actually delivered to the whole speakers. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Pak Rizal. Okay, you have already come up in the screen. Yes, feel free to address this question. Prof. Arya?
I think it should be Pak Step first because it's in social science. I will try to complete because my background is computer science, it's not social science.
All right. Okay, Prof. Step,
Right.
probably.
Yes, but I'm not sure to answer this question because we usually use the diction systematic literature review, never thinking about ordinary literature. Yeah, you know, systematic literature review is basic to, you know, to construct research model, you know, to try to construct that there is a research gap in our manuscript. And also in section 2, bab kedua, research literature, systematic literature review is try to, you know, to make our research can be done clearly by referring some other literature from the same, something like the same conclusion, something like that. Yeah. But in the first section, introduction, literature, systematic literature to find the gap. But in the literature review section in our article is try to support our research model. That is maybe like that because we you don't know, we never thinking about ordinary literature review. Thank you.
Okay, hope it answers your question, yeah, Pak Rizal. Okay, the second questions for Mr. William. What kind of basic consideration can editors take into account when publishing in Emerald? Are there any special tricks that can be given? Is it still from you, Pak Rizal?
No, it wasn't mine.
Okay, so it's from who? The committee, because I will give, I need to consider for the questions. Okay, William, please respond to this question.
All right, thank you. I think it's from Pak Johan Hendry, in asking in the chat, what kind of basic consideration can editors take into account when publishing Emerald, and any special tricks that can be given? Well, editors, reviewers are just like you and me. We have in our day job, we have to teach, we have to do research. At the night time, we probably have meetings or we have our family times. And so what I can really, talk about is editors will try to be, smart in using their time. So they will only focus us on some area that would benefit to their journal. So that is a very general answer to it. If I can give an example of that is that, so journal editors normally will look into the originality of the research, the novelty of that research or the contributions, and what knowledge or what research area or what the submissions can add in value to the journal. So to give you an example, I've covered the originality and the novelty of the research. The other one that editors normally would look into would be the readership and also the citations. Unfortunately, journals are very competitive. in order for journal to goes up another rank or another citation score, the number of downloads, the number of citations are really part of their considerations. So if if you're looking into that, then I think one of the questions that being asked is about citations. Where it's also for us to be a bit smart to know what top cited articles are there, and these are the articles that probably would be good for you to include in your citations and also in your references. Yeah. So I hope that it's just a very general answer to Pak Johan here. Thank you for the questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. William.
Okay, thank you, William. Okay, there is not a questions to you. Okay, anymore. Okay, how are definitive scientific articles accepted at Emerald? How do we choose on Emerald Journal that suits on our field? Or do you have any tips or suggestions, or recommendation? How can we submit our manuscript which suits with the field, with the what is that, prospective journal then?
Right. Well, thank you so much for the questions. I was, when I saw the
a bit confusing, yeah.
Yes, I saw the questions straight away. I Google and I try to find what it means by definitive scientific article. Sometimes the terms is too new to me, so I'll need to reconfirm that. It's like Prof. Steph tadi was explaining the literature review and the systematic literature review. I also Google and I say I'm good for Prof. Steph say that exactly the same thing. So regarding about definitive scientific articles, right? To be how it's to be accepted in MRO. If you are able to elaborate more or give an example to it, that will helps me to understand the term. But how do you choose journal? It's not only in Emerald Journal. Emerald, we only have 300 over journal. Tak banyak ni. We only have a very small collection. Compared with Elsevier's, there are 3,000 journals. Emerald only 300. So we are only 10% of the big boys out there. How do we choose a journal out there? To me, the most important part is to rely on not important. I mean, some of the factors that I covered earlier to not get into the predatory journals itself, because we wanted to disseminate our knowledge in the proper publishing line. So reputable journal that is actually should be one of your main factors. Once you actually got into that, then look at the journals. Look at the journal aim and scope. If you do not understand the journal aim and scope, read a few of the articles coming from the journal. My advice is that to look into the top cited articles from the journal or top downloads articles from that journal. That would hopefully give you an idea what kind of research, what kind of topics that the journal would like to welcome. From that, hopefully that will give you a good start to actually go into. I did mention another one part which is called the special issues, because I do not have time to elaborate more, but special issues is really a good a platform, a good a venue for you to actually explore. We talk about to have collaboration with Amoro. I also wanted to take this opportunity to say I welcome anyone, Prof. Steph, and anyone to come up with a topic where we can propose a special issues with journal in Amoro. That is really would expand not only your topical area but also your network, where people will find you more. Your name will be there instead of you looking for people. People are now looking for you. People will be asking your advice and so. So yeah, that's my short answer for it. Thank you so much. Thank you for the question.
Okay, thank you, William, for the answers. Okay, the next question is from Zulfitria. Okay, the question is, when do we decide to withdraw the submitted article if we have a target of publication because of academic needs? Okay, so any ideas? Okay, when I need to withdraw, okay, for example, I have already submitted and then I change my mind. So yes, please, anyone?
Fitria, there is no exact answer about this. Yeah, when you think that you should, withdraw your article, just withdraw your article because that is your own article. But be aware that before you submit your article, you have to know. The interval time when the publisher try to accept your article. Yeah, just make it easier. If you want to draw, just you want to withdraw, just withdraw. Change your publisher because that is out of your target, right? Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Prof. Arya, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I think it's basically it's the same as Prof. Step mentioned. First of all, I would like to stress out that it is actually unethical to submit an article to different journals at the same time. So usually at submission time, there's sort of like a declaration that we are asked to make that the article is not currently under review or being submitted to other journals. So this is very important. But because of time constraint, I will have to admit maybe some of us we try to knock on multi doors, right? We try to knock to submit our article to different journals, and then but we need to consider that this is actually unethical. Okay.
Yeah.
But then again, about the decision when to withdraw. Prof. Step already mentioned, before you choose a journal now, these days, I think most of the international journals, they provide at the front page of the article, submission date, revised date, and then a published date. You can actually pay attention to that, and then you can make sort of like a basic assumption that, oh, it will take at least maybe 6 months or 1 year since the first submission until the publish date, and then if this doesn't suit your time frame, then actually don't submit to the journal. Okay, so William already mentioned about you need to consider about the steps, how long it will take for review, and so on and so forth. Again, there's no strict rules of when to withdraw, but definitely it is not allowed to have one article published in more than one journal. I think you have understand about this. So please choose your journal carefully when you submit.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Arya. Okay, I think, do you want to add something, William?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to add on to Prof. Haya. What Prof. Haya mentioned is natures, because most of these publishers are under the COPE, Committees on Publication Ethics. We in the same system itself, when the publisher realized that the author could have some bad history of some kind, the author name in our system would have colored.
Okay.
So if it's seen it's a red color or it's a blue color, right? It actually means that the author has previous bad record. It could be sending to a multiple sending the same manuscript to a multiple journals at one time, or it could be because of a paper mill characteristics and so on and so that is not only just not only a warning, but it really happens where author names will be blacklisted in the publisher system.
Okay, thank you, William. There is another question to you as well. Are there any topics that are prioritized for publication by Emerald? And then there is also another question to Prof. Haria and Prof. Step. Okay, has your article ever been rejected? What was the reason? And what was the solution then if it is rejected? Okay, so I think it goes to you first, William.
Thank you. Although this question is not for me, but my first response is to cry. Whenever I got the rejection, I cry first. Back to the questions, are there any topic that prioritize for publication by Emerald? No, because Emerald is only act as as a publisher. Every aim in scope, every publishing topics are specifics, are niche across the journal itself. So we must go into the journals and see what are the topic areas, what are the research gap, what are the hot trend right now for it. But does Emerald has a publishing direction? Then the answer is yes. So for Emerald, our publishing directions always has been in the real impact, where we talk about research impact, where we talk about where does the research benefits to the stakeholders, benefits to societies. To give an example, we do have this called the Real Impact Award. Real Impact Award is only available in Emerald Publishing, where we celebrate research impact that brings changes to the community, to the stakeholders. Last year, our Real Impact Award is from a podcast. It not from a publication paper. It is from a podcast where it changes the policy making of a government in the South Africa. So that is actually our direction as the publisher. I hope I answered that in this particular way. I pass the floor to Prof. Haria and Prof. Step.
Yeah, okay, thank you, William. Okay, yes, Prof. Step and Prof. Haria, how do you feel when it is rejected? Okay, and then what would you do then?
Yeah, rejected or accepted are very common, Bapak Ibu. It is just make it our life easy. Rejected, but almost all our article that rejected, there is no reason. There's no reason. Just rejected. That's all. So we have to change our article and try to send to another publisher. That is
okay. So it should be rejected.
Yeah. But almost all our article, need to be revised. To be revised. There is no my article directly accepted. No, need revised. Yeah.
So it should be revised and resubmitted. Okay. Any other thoughts, Prof. Haria?
Yeah, okay. So if I'm being asked whether my article has ever been rejected, yeah, many times actually. So it is common. But okay, so it's common thing in publishing our work. Maybe a bit different. I've experienced rejection at the early stage of submission, and usually the reason for this is because my article, the substance of my article is not in line with the journal scope. So you need to be very careful with this, because sometimes maybe we are again, for time constraint, we try to look just for the category of the journal, the scope of the journal, but we never really read the detailed scope of the journal, and this will end up with early rejection because our topics maybe it's not in line with the scope of the journal. Another things that it is being rejected after it went through the editor decisions, and then some reviewers are assigned, and it is being rejected by the reviewer, right? Because maybe it's not too deep, findings or novelty is not enough, and so on and so forth, right? But there's one case where it's quite unique. I think my articles went through the editors, and it went through the review process. But after a while, I think it's after 3 months, without review, it is being rejected. And the main reason is because
no reviewers of that journal would like to review my articles. So the editors cannot find any reviewers that are willing to review my articles.
Okay.
And since that, the editor has tried for 3 months trying to find reviewers that are willing to review my articles, and he could not, or he or she could not find it. And then with regrets, the editor will have to reject my articles after 3 months without feedback, right? Because it's not, it didn't really went through, it did not being reviewed, so I cannot get feedback at all. And how to deal, yeah, if it is rejected because it's not in the scope of the journal, you just need to choose and look for another journal and make sure that this time it's in line with your research topic. And if it is being rejected by the reviewers in the review process, then even though it hurts, try to read the comments and try to make improvement to your article based on the reviewer comments. I think, yeah, that's from me.
Yeah, and never give up. And the last, what is it? The last 10 steps from Professor Step is praying. Okay. Okay, there is another questions, okay, from Priyanto. It is addressed to William. In social science article publication, are there any ideal guidelines for the number of references and the number of pages?
Thank you, Pak Priyanto, for the questions. I wanted to say I also pray a lot.
Yeah. It's Friday. It's almost Friday prayer, yeah? So I will end up the question and answer with another question, one more. Okay.
I mean, when I submit for the revision at times, I also pray for my revisions to be the last revision. So in the social sciences article publications, there are actually the ideal guideline and also the number of references or the number of pages would need to follow the journal specific. Each journal would have their own number of words, their own preferences in terms of the different referencing, the styles, and so. In Emerald, we are using Harvard referencing style. This is the one. But to answer the others, like a number of pages, simply referring to number of words, yes. So that goes back to the journal. So again, I would like to bring you all to the journal itself. So go to the journal, read the journal aim and scope, read the journal author guidelines, where you find the formattings and also the referencing styles, and also the abstract, so and so. So from that will hopefully helps you to build, to successfully write your manuscript. Thank you for the question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, William. Last questions from Duiana. Okay, it is mentioned, when should I cite a source, and will it be considered as a plagiarisms, and then probably how to avoid the plagiarisms or similarities then? To anyone, please?
First step.
I've never do plagiat, so there is no idea.
Okay. Okay. So first, I would like to maybe again stress out, we have two different terms that are highly correlated, I think. First, plagiarism, and then the second one is similarity. Okay. So all the what's so-called as the plagiarism system check, in my opinion, it's actually similarity checks. So we get actually percentage of similarity, which is high similarity. With high similarity, there's a high probability we'll have plagiarism. But actually, plagiarism cannot be counted in percentage, I think. It is whether yes or no. Because even though you only quote, you only take a single sentence from other people's works and you don't cite, it's plagiarism. Okay, so even if it is just a single sentence, right? It's not the whole paragraph, it's not the whole chapter, and so on and so forth. It's just a single sentence, but from other people's works, results, and you don't cite, it's plagiarism. But let's say if you took the whole paragraph, but you cite it and you mention that you take this from other resource, yeah, you cite the right way, it is actually not plagiarism. But of course, it will end up if you check it with, let's say, Turnitin or plagiarism check, it will end up with high similarity of text, right? Now, the main question is, or the main thing is, let's say if your whole articles is actually just a citation to other people's works, that there is no real contribution of yourself from yourself. Means it's just you just keep getting everything from other people's works, while research is about what is your main contribution, what is your findings, what is the novelty, and so on and so forth. So when should I cite a source? Every time you take something from someone else's work, whether it's table, sentence, image, picture, graphics, and so on and so forth, you need to cite, right? And plagiarism, again, even though it's just a single sentence, and even though if you paraphrase it, you still need to mention your source. It is very this is the basic foundation of doing research. I think we need to appreciate and other people's work and results. Don't take it as it is without mentioning the source.
Pak Dwiana, mungkin saran saya kalau menghindari plagiarisme jangan pernah menulis misalnya menurut David. Nah, menurutnya itu enggak perlu. Jadi David mention that gitu. Jadi apalagi di beberapa karya teman-teman itu menurut David dalam bukunya, kayak seperti itu. Dalam riset, seperti itu harus dihilangkan, langsung menyebutkan directly gitu Pak David. Jadi bahasa jurnal is very efficient to to perform our article. Jadi cara menulisnya kalau saya adalah tangkap ide yang ada di mana itu di jurnal terdahulu, and then try menulis dengan bahasa kita sendiri. Nah itu gitu Bu Olva. Ini kok langsung bahasa Jawa ini, sorry gitu.
No worries, Prof. Step. Thank you very much. I think another way is to do to avoid the plagiarisms is doing the paraphrasing. Ladies and gentlemen, you can have an academic phrasal bank. Okay, it can be downloaded with. Okay, I will write it down. Okay, it is free. If I'm not mistaken, it is produced from the Manchester University. So you can use it, the way how to quote like that, how to cite, and instead of according to, okay, based on, so you can have the way, different way to express the quotations. Well, okay, I think I need to complete this question and answer session. Again, thank you very much for the participants who have already raised the questions, and also the speakers. Again, please welcome our speakers. Oh, not welcome. Please give them a very big applause. So sorry about this. Okay. Okay, we again a lot of insightfuls into our next manuscript. Okay, I do hope that it will be beneficial for us. Okay, and then I will be giving the e-money. Okay, to okay.
The speaker.
No, the speaker has already been welfare. Okay. So it will be given to Johan. You will get around 150,000 rupiahs, okay? And then to Rizal Maulana, and then Zulfitria, okay? So it will be given 3 e-money from Ibu Tia, okay? Ibu Tia will contact you. So please write down your phone number in the chat to Ibu Tia, okay? She will contact you for this. And then for free registration form to.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, to Bapak Prianto and Ibu Dwiana. Okay, so you will get a free form registration to apply for the graduate school program. Okay, again, I think we have come to the end of our program, and we would like to express our gratitude to your participation in this event, and we would like to apologize for any inconvenience may cause during this session. I'm Ofalia, and I would like to say See you later in a different occasion. Okay? And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.
Thank you, William.
Sir,
Hope to see you in
William,
person
thank you,
in the
Prof.
future.
Yayo, thank you,
Thank you. All the best.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, speaker.
everyone.
Friday and bye.
Perbanas Institute didirikan pada tahun 1969 oleh Yayasan Pendidikan Perbanas atau YPP. Perbanas Institute adalah salah satu lembaga pendidikan tinggi pertama yang menyelenggarakan pendidikan di bidang keuangan perbankan dan informatika.
Selamat datang di Perbanas Institute. Fokus kami adalah pendidikan perbankan, keuangan, dan informatika dengan kurikulum yang inovatif, dinamis, serta mengintegrasikan pengetahuan teori dan praktek melalui proses pembelajaran yang menyenangkan.
Kampus Perbanas Institute berlokasi strategis di segitiga emas bisnis Ibu Kota Jakarta yang didukung kemudahan akses dan beragam layanan transportasi publik. Terdiri dari bangunan 6 unit yang dilengkapi dengan berbagai sarana fasilitas dan sarana pendidikan yang lengkap dan memadai sebagai kampus modern. Selain kampus utama, Perbanas Institute pun memiliki kampus di Bekasi yang menjadi pelebaran sayap dalam menampung minat para calon mahasiswa di bidang keuangan perbankan dan informatika yang terus bertambah dari tahun ke tahunnya.
Kuliah di Perbanas Institute merupakan sebuah pengalaman yang menyenangkan bagi saya. Kurikulum yang seimbang antara hard skill dan soft skill didesain untuk menciptakan calon pemimpin yang berkualitas. Saya bertemu dengan para dosen yang sangat kompeten, baik akademisi maupun praktisi. Materi yang disampaikannya pun sangat up to date dengan perkembangan bisnis dan dunia kerja. Fasilitas kampus yang lengkap dan modern sangat membantu mahasiswanya untuk berinteraksi, bersosialisasi, dan membangun kehidupan kampus yang menyenangkan bagi para mahasiswanya.
Kesuksesan mahasiswa Perbanas Institute selalu menjadi prioritas kami. Terlihat pada data profil alumni berdasarkan masa tunggu kerja dan profil alumni berdasarkan jenis pekerjaan. Saat ini, Perbanas Institute memiliki 3 fakultas yang terdiri dari Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis, Fakultas Teknologi Informasi, dan Sekolah Pasca Sarjana. Kami sangat berkompeten dalam membentuk dan mengembangkan sumber daya manusia yang profesional, handal, dan bermartabat di bidang manajemen bisnis, keuangan, serta perbankan di sektor swasta maupun di sektor publik.
Kemampuan dari Perbanas Institute dalam mengembangkan sumber daya manusia yang dibutuhkan oleh industri keuangan dan perbankan tentunya sudah tidak diragukan lagi.
Saat ini, program studi yang ada di Fakultas Teknologi Informasi memberikan kesempatan untuk melakukan pengembangan pengetahuan yang lebih dalam mengenai teknologi. Dengan peluang karir sebagai Network Specialist, Web Developer, Business and System Analyst, dan Information System Specialist.
Dengan kurikulum yang mengadopsi konsep link and match dengan kebutuhan industri sehingga dapat menghasilkan sumber daya manusia yang profesional dan handal. Hal ini tentunya akan membantu mengeskalasi jenjang karir dan jejaring kerja yang saya miliki.
Perbanas Institute juga pernah mendapatkan penghargaan, yaitu sebagai kampus keuangan terbaik. Hal ini tercermin dari kurikulum program studi yang inovatif, kemudian dari fasilitas yang memadai, dan unit kegiatan mahasiswa yang membantu mengembangkan hard skill dan soft skill mahasiswa Perbanas Institute.
Saya bangga menjadi mahasiswa Fakultas Teknologi Informasi, karena mahasiswa Fakultas Teknologi Informasi mendapatkan penghargaan di kancah internasional berbasis lumbung data yang diberikan oleh Kementerian Ristek Dikti.
Lokasi Perbanas Institute yang sangat strategis, yaitu berada di segitiga emas, memberikan kesempatan bagi saya untuk kuliah tanpa harus meninggalkan pekerjaan.
Sebagai kampus modern, Perbanas Institute juga menyediakan fasilitas dan sarana pendidikan yang lengkap, guna menunjang kebutuhan perkuliahan para mahasiswa dan mahasiswi kami yang bersiap memasuki dunia kerja. Fasilitas yang kami miliki antara lain laboratorium dealing room, laboratorium bank mini, laboratorium bank mini syariah, Cisco Academy Laboratorium, perpustakaan dengan koleksi buku dan e-jurnal yang terbaru, sarana olahraga, sarana ibadah, food court taman asri, lounge mahasiswa, gerai investasi, dan laboratorium akuntansi dan manajemen. Selain banyaknya fasilitas yang dapat menunjang perkuliahan, di Perbanas Institute juga terdapat banyak jenis unit kegiatan mahasiswa sebagai sarana untuk mengembangkan talenta-talenta yang mereka miliki.
Sebagai dosen Perbanas Institute sekaligus praktisi di bidang perbankan, saya menilai bahwa sistem pengajaran di Perbanas Institute sudah sangat bagus karena mahasiswa tidak hanya mendapatkan teori saja tetapi juga praktek di lapangan. Hal ini diuntungkan karena Perbanas memiliki 80 bank yang memperbolehkan mahasiswa melakukan riset, magang maupun juga pengabdian kepada masyarakat.
Menghadapi era disrupsi saat ini, dibutuhkan tenaga kerja yang kreatif, dinamis, dan inovatif tentunya. Di sini kami melihat link and match antara kebutuhan dari industri dengan lulusan dari Perbanas Institute yang memiliki kemampuan dan kompetensi yang dibutuhkan di sektor keuangan perbankan yang diperoleh dari proses pembelajaran formal yang up to date dengan basis kompetensi dan pengembangan soft skill dan social intelligence membuat lulusan Perbanas Institute sangat diminati oleh industri keuangan perbankan.
Selain itu, Perbanas juga memiliki fasilitas untuk menunjang mahasiswa dalam bentuk laboratorium, tempat mereka berkumpul, maupun perpustakaan yang menunjang untuk proses belajar mengajar. Oleh karena itu, Perbanas saya menilai sudah memenuhi tantangan masa depan di mana mereka sudah siap pakai, tidak hanya sekedar memenuhi tuntutan mendapat pendidikan tinggi.
Selama 50 tahun berdiri, Perbanas Institute telah meraih banyak prestasi yang membanggakan, baik itu penghargaan akademik maupun penghargaan non-akademik.
Perbanas Institute adalah perguruan tinggi pilihan utama bagi the next leaders, para calon mahasiswa diploma, sarjana, dan pasca sarjana di bidang perbankan, keuangan, serta informatika.
Perbanas Institute, envision your future today.